Hello everyone, welcome to PRAD 292 Design Applications. With this video, I just wanted to give you an overview of D2L and where you can find everything that you're going to need for this course. So when you go to D2L and you click on our class, that will take you to our homepage. So if you look up here at the top, this menu here, anytime you want to get to the homepage, you would choose Course Home. On the course homepage, we first have this news widget. When there is any news for the class, it will be displayed there. When there are updates over here on the right, you'll see them in this widget. And a little bit lower, you have the calendar. So this will give you a quick overview of upcoming events, which for us is usually when assignments are due. So the homepage is useful, but for the most part, you're going to spend most of your time in content. So back up here at the top, I'm going to go ahead and choose content. And the first time you click on content, it will take you to the overview, but later it will take you to whatever the last page was that you were on. So I don't want you to forget that the overview is here. If you ever need to get back to it, over in the left-hand column is overview. And I'm mentioning that because the overview is where you can find my contact information, my office hours, and the syllabus. So later, if you're trying to find any of that information, you want to first click on Content from the top menu and then Overview from the left-hand column. And as I'm walking through this, go ahead and disregard any section numbers or time periods or anything like that. This video is being used for multiple classes, so everything's going to be the same. You can just ignore those bits of information. So here under Professor, this is where you have my email address, my phone number, and the link to my Zoom meeting room. A couple of things. I have multiple emails through DePaul. So if you do find a different email somewhere else, don't worry, you can use any of them. They will all get to me. And then my phone number, if you absolutely need to call me or text me, go ahead and do so. But it is most of the time a better option to go ahead and email me first. And then the Zoom link, when we do any kind of office hours or one-on-one meetups or things like that, then we'll use Zoom. There's a couple of social media links, and below that I have the office hours. So my office hours this quarter are Monday and Wednesday from 1:30 to 3. Those are times that I will be at my computer with Zoom open, and you could just drop in. It's a good idea to go ahead and first make an appointment so that if I do have multiple students needing help, we're not overlapping. So it is preferable for you to make an appointment, but if you haven't made an appointment, you can still go ahead and try to drop on in for those office hours. And also, if those hours don't work for you, I'm open to some other office hours Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. But for those, you would definitely need an appointment so that I can be sure to be at the computer. And below that is where you'll find the syllabus. So I'm going to go ahead and make this syllabus a bit bigger. And I don't want to go over the syllabus entirely. You'll want to go ahead and do that yourself, read through it. There will be a quiz on it to make sure that you are getting the main points from the syllabus so that you understand the policies and procedures for the class. But again, I just wanted to point out my contact information and office hours here at the top. The course description you've probably already read if you are taking this class. And I'm just going to scroll through here. There are no required texts, but the required materials, you do need to get file storage. And you'll need two forms of file storage, your main file storage and then some kind of backup storage. You want to be sure that you always have multiple copies of your work, because if one source of storage fails or is stolen, you are still responsible for completing your assignments. So you really want to make it a habit to always back up your work. And I mention here a couple of different ways that you can obtain that file storage. And also in different situations, you might want different kinds of storage. So just to point out, if you are going to be working on your own personal computer, whether it's a desktop or a laptop, that could be your main file storage. And then with that, I would suggest that you purchase what's called an external hard drive. And you want to make sure that it is also a portable external hard drive. Those are smaller. You can put them in your backpack, take them with you. You want to look for one that is at least 500 gigabytes, but most of the time you're not going to find one smaller than a terabyte. And those usually run about $40 to $60. And you don't need anything fancy, just the most basic one. And then when you do your work on your computer, you would want to then make it a habit either at the end of every day or the end of any work session, or at least once or twice a week, that you'd want to pull those files, keep them on your desktop or your laptop, but then pull a copy over onto that external hard drive so that if for some reason your computer breaks down or is stolen, you still have your work. If you don't have a personal computer, then I highly suggest that your main form of storage would be that portable external hard drive. And then your backup could be an online service such as iCloud, Dropbox, S3, Box, Google Drive, Amazon Drive, any storage, and just online storage. And just make sure that you're, starting out with something that's free. You don't need to be purchasing any online service until you find that you need more than they give. And once again, you've got to do that. It's your responsibility that you're turning your work in. And your computer crashing or being stolen or anything like that isn't an excuse for not turning in your work. Continuing down, of course, this is an online class and we're not meeting in person, but I still do need to turn in the first 2 weeks of attendance to the university. They use it to be sure that you are coming to class so that you can continue getting your financial aid or things like that. So for us, what we're going to do for attendance is the first 2 weeks of assignments, you want to make sure that you're turning them in on time, and I'll consider that your attendance. So if you fail to turn in any work the first 2 weeks of class, I will have to report that you're not participating in class, and then you risk losing your financial aid and you will be contacted by the university. So coursework, we'll do most of the time 9 projects in this class. There will be at least one quiz. There might be multiple quizzes, but I'll always let you know ahead of time when these are going to be, and I'll always let you know what to study for. And in this class, there's no formal midterm or final. So important things to point out about work. So I will accept late work, but only up to 1 week after the initial due date. After 1 week after that initial due date, I won't accept your work anymore. So you want to try to get it turned in on time, but if not, at least a week after the due date. If you do turn in assignments late within that week, they are automatically reduced. 10% if they're turned in late up to 24 hours, and 20% if it's from 24 hours to the end of that week. Once again, after that week, I don't accept it, and you'll receive a 0 on that assignment. Assignments that are turned in on time, once you get your grade back, if it's not the grade that you are happy with, you can rework it and resubmit it one time up to a week after you received that initial grade. Late work, however, cannot be resubmitted. Once you get your grade, that's it. So it's in your best interest to turn your work in on time Even if it's not entirely finished or you're not entirely happy with it, just turn it in. That shows me that you have been working on it and that you've made an attempt. And then once you get your grade, you could always rework it and resubmit it. Don't wait. If you've been working on your assignment, don't wait to turn it in thinking it's not good enough yet. Just turn it in. You can always make it better later. But if it's late, it's late. You can't rework it and resubmit it.